Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Yo, man, it's Fred. Listen, don't forget to like and subscribe to our New Orleans Talk Network page on. Keep going. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Fred. Listen, don't forget to like our page on YouTube, FanView, Facebook, FanView, and on Twitter, FanView New Orleans.
Holla at you, man, in the app with us, and we gonna make this thing on the pop, New Orleans Talk Network. Real fans talk about real sports. And not only sports, it's everyday activity and life, man.
My name is Hue Jackson, SMU commit, and you're tuning into FanView.
Yo, what's up? It's Poogle Williams, 2017 Mr. Football. You are now tuned into FanView Live on New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Congressman Cedric Richmond, and you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
FanView Live, where real fans talk about real sports, only on the New Orleans Talk Network. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, because we're not just a sports talk show, we're a talk show about sports.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe Lapinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk
Network. This is boy Coach Hurricane here. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayoU15.
Listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money! money.
Well, what's up, everybody?
Straight up. You know what it is. Our version of mumble rap. What's mystical? Mystical and Twister. No. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to FanView Real Fans Talk Sports. You know what I'm talking about. Listen, I'm your boy Fred.
Coach Hurricane here once again.
There it is, man. Listen, y'all know we got a jam-packed show for y'all tonight, man. There's a lot that happening in sports.
Yes, sir.
Man. It's been going. Y'all know what week it is.
It's that week.
It's that week. It's that bad week. It's that Louisiana week.
Starting off with the high school. It's Carr. It's
Eastern.
Terrebonne. Bethlehem.
Strahan.
Then you go up to the next level with Bama.
LSU.
At
At that pro level.
Saints.
Rams.
And the one-loss Rams.
Yeah!
I'm starting early with it, baby.
You speaking into the
I'm
existence?
starting early with it, baby.
That is.
Woo! Week 10, baby. Here we go.
There you go, Ric Flair over here. Y'all already know what it is. Listen, tag a friend, add a friend. Listen, this is FanView Live with Real Fans Talk Sports on the Walls Talk Network. This is the only sports show, best sports show on the internet. But us as fans get down and sit down and talk sports. Listen, follow us on Facebook at FanView Live. Follow us on YouTube at FanView Live. Follow us on Instagram at FanView Live. And follow us on Twitter at FanView NOLA. Don't forget to follow New Orleans Talk Network. Also at NOTN Talk on Twitter, Instagram, and also follow New Orleans Talk Network on Facebook. Y'all know what I have to do before I get started. Each and every week, I give a shout out and salute to the military.
Yes, sir.
Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, First Responders, Coast Guard, local police department, local fire department. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Listen, if anybody don't give y'all love and support, FanView Live will do it each and every Thursday. You can bank on that.
Yes, sir.
Now, it's time to talk sports.
Let's get to it, baby.
Let's get to it, baby. Listen, y'all already know what happened this past Sunday. We got that revenge. If you part of that Who That Nation, I want to see them hearts. I want to see them likes. Saints go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Come up there and handle business.
Yeah.
30-20. Saints overcome, get the big victory out there in Minnesota. You know, in a very dominating, what I would call a dominating performance by the Saints offense by keeping the Minnesota Vikings defense on balance, being able to control the clock, control the game since the game started. I mean, obviously, Minnesota was getting back healthy. Guys like Everson Griffin were just not coming back first game back. Guys like Xavier Rose didn't play in that game. His fault. Drew Brees ends up making his first turnover of the season, first interception in the game. Man, a lot to talk about during that game. Matter of fact, Drew Brees, for people who don't even know, didn't even have 150 yards passing. That's a lot of stats. Thank you guys, salute. But man, it's time to talk about the coaching. What is your take from the game and the Saints' performance, man?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. The most surprise. That's why I call it a dominating win. It might not have looked dominating, but when you go out against a quality opponent like the Vikings,
right?
Most of that team is still there. The whole defense is still there. Most of the offense piece you upgraded that quarterback, and this team was in the NFC Championship the year ago, and they call this their defense.
Yeah.
When you go out there and Drew Brees could just be Drew Brees. He wasn't Brees us.
Yes.
He was just
Drew Brees.
Regular old Drew Brees. And you put up 30 points on these folks.
Yeah.
The way that Peyton was keeping Mike Zimmer's defense off balance. And this is the thing. A lot of people don't know, when you work on the same staff with somebody, you always pick their brain, especially if they're on the opposite side of the ball. Mike Zimmer and Sean Payton, they coached together.
Right.
On Bill Parcells' staff.
Down in Dallas.
Was a defense coordinator.
Saints.
Sean Payton called up offensive coordinator. And one of the things that a lot of the opposing sides do, they draw up stuff. Man, coach, I'm trying to do this. How would you defend this? Or or what play would you call against this? Well, pre-snap, I'll do this. All right, that's what I figured. So what I'm actually doing is we going to drop here, boom, 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 and we going to come from right here.
Right.
Well, if you catch it, if our quarterback don't see it, you got it. You got it.
Right.
But, if he see it, we got to hold here. So and when working with somebody, you also get to learn how they think, what's their adjustments is, how they like to, fine tune things, and what their philosophy is.
Right.
You got some guys who said, no matter what, I don't care. I'll give up 500 yards passing, but you would not run the ball on me.
Right.
You got some guys saying, look, we're going to be balanced. We're going to take away what you like to do and force you to do the other thing. You got some guys saying, look, we going to come after you.
Right.
No matter what. We going to come after you every single play, all over the field.
Greg Williams.
And yeah, pretty much. And you just going to have to deal with it.
Right.
The beauty about this Saints win is, well, we got destroyed at the first game last year, and in the playoff game was in the trenches, and we dominated that time.
Mm-hmm.
We dominated this time. Without a point, Sheldon Rankins, oh my God, hell of a game. Yeah. Cameron Jordan, oh my God, hell of a game. And Marcus Davenport,
who's gonna be out for? Who's going to be out for a month, by the way? If you're part of the Saints Who That Nation, Marcus Davenport has a toe injury. He's going to be out for a month.
But he wasn't out. He went
out Sunday.
A hell of a game, man. And then Okafor, when he was, man, they dominated from start to finish. Even Tyler Davidson. It was a dominating performance up front. Then the offensive line, you give up one sack against that vaunted D-line.
Yeah.
That they had.
Right.
You kept, and the guy I kept talking about for all last year and this year.
Drew Brees didn't get sacked at all.
It did. Everson Griffin got him.
Not according to the stat sheet.
Unless they must change. He got him. They must have missed it.
Must have been the penalty.
But he stepped. Now because I remember Drew Brees, Linval Joseph got the only pressure he got in the game, and he stepped up. And Everson Griffin came around, and Drew Brees went down with a sack.
I agree with you. On the stat sheet, it's not coming up. But I'm with you. I found it.
As a defensive line, man, hey, look, you get that. I don't care. I don't care if the stats write it up or not. You get that. And to rally around the team. And I know we're going to get about this later, but P.J. Williams had the best 50-50 game anybody's ever had. I've ever seen. The best 50-50 game anybody's ever had.
Explain 50-50.
As a defensive back, you only talked about when something bad happens.
It happened often Sunday.
Look, he gave up 5 catches.
2 penalties.
He gave up 5 catches. At the end of the day, he gave up 5 catches. 5 catches against 2 damn good route runners. He gave up 5 catches, 3 to the number 1 receiver in the league as far as yardage and reception going right now.
Okay.
Nobody stopped this guy all year. Nobody talk about them. He gave up 2 to Stephon Diggs, who that's his calling card, running routes. It is what it is. Okay, but see, what was only highlighted was from the fans' point of view is, wow, he got burnt. Wow, this, wow, that. But shit, you played 4 quarters. You gave up 5 catches.
How many yards?
You gave up 5. I don't care. You gave up 5 catches. What happened? How many times Kirk Cousins threw the ball?
41.
41 times. You gave up 5 catches out of 41. What happened the other 36 times?
It could have been incomplete plays. It could have been throwing passes to the running back.
It doesn't matter. If you getting your ass whooped just like you is on the NFL level, they don't care. If you get beat, they going straight back to you over and over and over.
They did.
He gave up 5 catches. So they out of 40, if you get beat that bad,
he got beat.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm an avid Saints fan. Toy Cook was once targeted 37 times in a league where they didn't pass the ball that much. He was targeted 37 times by Chandler from the Falcons. And guess how many catches was made on him? 32. All 32 of his completions came on Toy Cook.
I would say this.
That's what I'm saying.
PJBurnUnit.com.
The best 50-50 game, because at that position you got to have confidence. At that position you got to have a small short-term memory. If he would have let those 5 catches get to him, it would have been over. Saints lose this game. But what he kept doing, he kept battling, made 6 tackles, kept battling, got a key interception at a time where the Vikings started figuring out what Dennis Allen was doing to him, and they started driving. He got a key pick 6 that kind of sealed the game for the Saints. Any other kid in that situation, lay it down. PJ kept fighting.
Now, there's a couple of comments. Timothy Kincaid said, "What do you guys think about as alone?" Timothy,
lonely, baby.
He said, I'm assuming he said real bad. He said, Frank Bridges says, "Come on, coach. The yards do matter, especially in the clutch time."
Okay, let me finish.
That dude probably gave up 100 yards Sunday. Easy.
All right.
Easy.
I want y'all to go back 3 years ago. 3 years ago, when Richard Sherman was considered the best cornerback in the league, Keenan Allen had 150 yards on Richard Sherman. Nobody talks about that because guess what Richard Sherman did? He had a pick 6 that won the damn game for him. And you forgot that Keenan Allen torched his ass. Didn't nobody talk about the 150 yards, 8 catches that Keenan Allen got on, quote-unquote, the best?
I think every corner has their day. On a given game, in a given matchup, every corner in the NFL who is playing, Patrick Peterson had his day. You know, every corner is going to have their day. That's just what it boils down to. To me, he burnunit.com. First and foremost, on the first drive, he gives us the catch to Thielen. First of all, I want to give some people credit. Adam Thielen leads the lead in yards, reception, and targets. That's that's not speculation. That's facts.
So nobody's been able to stop him.
He can't stop him. But that's agreed. Stephon Diggs is a heck of a route runner. He gets over, he makes plays. That's what happens. My problem with P.J. Williams, at the end of the day, he gave up 2 touchdowns, and he on a penalty when they ran the ball in, he had a couple of penalties that got them the yards to get down there. At the end of the day, I'm looking at his play, and I'm saying the opposing offense are going to a game plan. They're saying to myself, people looking at me telling me, man, Marshall Lattimore, this is lockdown, he's this and he's that. I'm saying to myself, no, they just talking to P.J. They're not targeting Marshall Lattimore, because people who watch the game, I watched it through. Whoever watched it with us on FanView Locker when we streamed the game, I'm watching Marshall Lattimore. Treadwell was on him. They put Treadwell somewhere over there so they can target P.J. Williams.
How many catches Laquan Treadwell gave up? Had?
None. He's not.
No. He had 4. He had 4 catches. Look it up.
Vikings. Treadwell had 3 catches, 25 yards.
Okay, 3 catches.
3 catches.
3 catches. P.J. gave up 2 more than him. Against our best cornerback gave up 3. Our best cornerback gave up 3. This guy gave up 2 more than him.
Okay, but let's talk about Thielen yards. Thielen has 103 yards. Diggs has 119 yards. So we talking about Marshall Lattimore giving up.
How many catches did Thielen have?
7 catches.
How many catches did
Diggs had 10.
Okay, 7. They had 17 catches. P.J. Williams only gave up 5 catches. So, 17.
I got to find how many catches he really had. I think he gave up more and more catches.
Go to ProFootballFocus.com.
I'm going to subscribe to it. They just got description service.
I'll watch it. Well, I don't have to pay for the subscription.
Yeah, what up?
Baby. But I'm just saying, 17 catches.
Man.
P.J. only gave up 5. Where the hell the other 12 came from? It wasn't P.J., so don't. So
Eli Apple gave up some catches.
Oh, did he? But people.
Here's when bad is P.J. P.J. gave up the yards.
You only see it because when it like I said, that's the position that you got to have the shortest term memory, because you only get talked about when it's something big or when it's a chunk play, but nobody looks at the in between stuff. Nobody looks at the P.J. Williams where he switches off a deal and makes the key third down tackle on Kyle Rudolph.
Now, Torrey Weatherspeed says 275 LOL. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to as for the yards he gave up.
No,
I don't think he gave up 285 yards.
You're wrong. You're bad. But he must have played with a P.J. on Madden because he ain't give up that.
Listen, to me, P.J. Williams, man, listen, I don't want to take nothing from the guy. At the end of the day, he won Defensive Player of the Week, and I'm really happy for him. But to me, he burnunit.com. He goes to the Saints Burn Unit Hall of Fame with the Fred Wearies and the Kevin Mathises and the Fred Thomases and the Jason Davids. He signed him up. He become the newest member. This is something to come routine for P.J. Williams.
No. Hell nah.
Let me ask you a question, Coach Ian.
Hold on. First of all, don't act like the secondary play has always been something spectacular. Because you just named some people in BurnU.com, and I didn't hear the number 1 person.
Jarrisburg?
No. Well, shit, he go up there.
Brandon Browner?
You didn't say shit about Jason David.
I said Jason David.
No, you didn't.
I did. I just said Jason David last.
Jason David should be, when you talk about BurnU.com, it should be Jason David, Fred Thomas, McAfee, Robert Harper.
Listen, Kevin Mathis and Fred Weary up there. Alex Molden is really up there.
Man, is he? Toy
Cook. He a new member.
Alex Molden.
What? Alex Molden. Alex Molden bad.
You don't say
Alex Molden bad.
No, he far.
Michael Hawthorne.
Oh my Jesus. Stanley Jones.
Baptiste.
Hey, say what you want. Patrick Robinson, the first go round was up.
Was up in there?
Was up in there outside.
Yeah,
so,
it was up in there.
I don't hear that.
But PJ, listen, bro. PJ is listen, bro. You look at the game he gave up with Ridley, and you're looking at this game. Bro, it's some bad games. The guy won Defensive Player of the Week.
Jason Kraft. Oh, my God.
Jason Kraft.
Hell of a name for that
Hey, Derrick Johnson. Hey, yes. Listen, Derrick Johnson. And Marty B, PJ forced 2 turnovers. I keep telling y'all he forced 1.
He forced 2.
Alexander Alone had that fumble.
No. It was PJ.
No, it was not PJ. Alexander Alone hit him.
See, you don't even say the damn boy name right. It's Alex Alone.
As a lone Alex Zone,
but
he caused the fumble.
No, he did. He slowed him down.
He hit him.
Look at the hat placement on PJ.
Hat didn't
Face mask on ball caused the fumble, Pete. Hey, look. This is the difference between somebody who played the game, somebody who coached a different team,
and somebody who watches the game.
Who just watches.
I watched. He made a tackle, and as a loney, hit him, and ball come out.
PJ made it. 2.
So you trying to tell me that as a loney does not make contact at all, that ball still come out?
The face mask.
If Azalone does not touch him, that ball still fumble.
The face mask at that point, the face
if
mask.
Azalone does not touch Allen Thielen,
the play changes. The play changes. P.J. Williams caused the fumble.
No.
That's all it is.
If Azalone hits him, if Azalone don't touch him at all, and it's all P.J. Williams, you trying to tell me P.J. Williams still making fumble?
How would you know? How would you know? Because that
I'm asking you a question.
I'm saying you'll never know. That's just like saying, hey, if Marshawn Lynch gets the ball for the Seahawks and runs it in on the 1 yard line, do the Patriots still win a Super Bowl because they had time on the clock and Tom Brady get the ball? Hell, we would never know. But what we do know is P.J. Williams caused that fumble. Marshawn Latimer's ass should have housed it, but get tackled at the goddamn 5.
It's the second damn time he catches a fumble and getting caught from behind. He getting there. Like, you're bad. You can't be catching these fumbles and not.
How you not house that shit?
This is second time now. Second time. Lattimore, get your 40 game together, man. 100-yard dash. I mean, get it together. Get it all the way together. But at the end of the day, listen, let me go read this comment here. Dexter says this, man, look, Vikings have some damn good receivers, and Thielen is the best, at least 2, 3 this year. So the did get a good kid on those receivers. I'm trying to make up what he's saying. And Frank Bridges says, at this point, PJ is going to be consistent. Every team here out is going to target him. They're going to target him. He's going to be targeted.
Hey, Marshawn Lattimore won't be targeted.
Every corner going to get targeted, but he's going to be targeted.
Okay, look, every team has that corner that's going to be targeted.
He that corner this year.
PJ just happens to be that guy for us.
Yeah, he targeted.
Eli Apple ain't going to be too damn far from it. Hey,
I'm going to give Eli Apple some time. He just got acquainted.
Fuck that. Look, motherfucker forget, Kenny Vaccaro was that motherfucker too.
Yeah, he got targeted.
But y'all love Kenny Vaccaro because y'all love wives and girlfriends. They'll watch the Saints game with y'all because they love the way Kenny Vaccaro looked and stuff. And y'all sit there and like, they go watch the Saints game.
We knew Kenny couldn't cover when he drafted him out of Texas.
But look what happened. But no, motherfucker don't want to talk about that though.
We knew Kenny Vaccaro couldn't get drafted out of Texas. I was a big fan when they drafted that same draft class. They should have drafted Eric Reed before they drafted Vaccaro. Because Eric Reed went 2 picks later to the 49ers. I've been saying that when we made that selection.
But see, Kenny Vaccaro fitted our bill.
He fitted what they needed.
When you let Rob Ryan use it the right way, look, the boy almost, if he don't get hurt in week 12, he could be a Pro Bowl. He'd have been a defensive rookie of the year.
Right. He could have almost had a Pro Bowl year there. But to me, again, the Saints, had a heck of a game plan. Shout out to White Uptown, man, with the throw.
White Uptown.
The big throw to Mike Thomas early in the game to set the tone against the Vikings, man. Again, overall, I love the Saints game. Obviously, Drew Brees only having 120 yards. Drew Brees only had 23 attempts, folks. And that's kind of the Drew Brees I want to see. Not every game, but I like to see that quarterback, in the later parts of the year, maybe postseason, his targets, the amount of attempts go up. But I like to see when Drew Brees can have a 25-yard only attempt game because the running attack is doing well and they're looking so balanced on offense. But listen, man, a lot of people don't want to admit this, bro, but I think the Saints got one of the most athletic defensive lines in the league. Now, prior to Davenport being hurt, but we're talking about some first-round picks on the D-line. Sheldon Rankins has been playing big. I've been high on Sheldon Rankins. I've been talking down about it. And I have. Last year, he was in Mr. Invisible at some point. No, yes, he was. Last year.
He wasn't healthy.
This year, he's playing. I don't know if it's a contract year or not. But the bull rush I seen on that center, Lord, go look at Baldy breakdowns on Twitter. Listen, Sheldon Rankins been playing phenomenal. You're looking at Davenport, who's coming on game by game. We already know we get from Mr. Durable.com and Cam Jordan. Man, and Alex Okafor, Who
y'all didn't like. But
we originally like when we got. Look, G didn't like him.
You didn't like his ass either. You were right there with him.
Listen, I like him better than G did.
You don't try to put it all on G.
I ain't like him better than G didn't.
You didn't like him.
I ain't like it though.
But look, the guy who coached the position, the guy who started with it told you, look, this is the right spot for him. Yeah, I want to hit that. Look at him now.
He looking at the Bobby McCray of the defense. Looking at the Bobby McCray of the defense.
Look at him now. Look at him now.
Looking like the Bobby McCray of defense. I got to give him credit. He's playing. Now, again, Davenport going to be out for a month. Trey Henderson. Hey.
Who's balling?
Got to come.
Who's balling the spots?
Hey. Got to step up. Got to handle that spot for the next month or so. Handle business because he's going to be out. But listen, I like it. You know, I like how the defense is played, especially from, like I said, the big statistical thing about this defense, what I love about the Saints defense so far right now, at the end of the day, from the first 3 weeks of the football season, they was giving up those 40-yard plus plays. They were leading the league in 40-yard plus plays, leading the league in 20-yard plus plays. And every week, it started to settle down once that defensive line started to show their athleticism. Guys like Davenport started to make some plays. Guys like Sheldon Rankin started to make some more plays. And they're starting to not just get sacks, but they're starting to get to the quarterback and make some errant throws.
I'm going to rebuttal what you said because I don't think it was more the defensive line, linebackers, cornerbacks position per se in the beginning part of the season, more of as the scheme. Dennis Allen finding out what he can and can't do with defense. Look, we started off the same way last year. Dennis Allen started realizing what he had. All right, still got Vaccaro. He can still play this.
Right.
I can let Marcus Allen play up high.
Mm-hmm.
I can bring in Von Bell, who's another short tackler. We can go more of our 3 safety look, kick, and put pressure and blitz up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You give the defense line one across the board,
right,
and we go lock down on the outside. That worked last year. Well, guess what? This year he not blitzing, so it took time to figure out what I can and can't do. Now he figured out, all right.
And again, I don't think he has really all the blitzing personnel.
Well, no, he do. Man, he got 2 of the best blitzers in football, but he just don't use them. He still has the Mario Davis outside the position he's supposed to be. Anzalone is playing lights out. At this point last year, Anzalone was out for the year.
Right.
So you got him this whole time. Craig Robinson hasn't broken into the rotation yet.
No, he's on special teams.
Matt Tateo is allowing Craig DeMario Davis to play outside, and it gives them the most athletic front on the second level of the defense.
So who would you blitz?
DeMario Davis and Anzalone. Anzalone can run. DeMario Davis is smart. It has the football IQ to fit in, to get in where he fits in, and also has the athletic ability. If he's blitzing and the running back is out in the flat or something like that, to stop his blitz to go with it.
Now Marty B says we need to use Hardy and Coleman more, meaning that you're not hearing much heard from number 29 and Kurt Coleman. Obviously, Justin Hardy's on special teams.
My thing is, how do you get Coleman in when Von Bell is playing so damn good? See, the weakest part of Von Bell's game the past couple of years has been his ability to cover. But he is the best open field tackler outside of DeMario Davis that you have on his team. It's hard to put those guys on the bench. It's hard. It just is what it is. It's just hard to put those guys on the bench.
Okay.
So who do you take them out for?
A good question. It's a good question. It's again, third down situation. Maybe it's third and longs.
That's what they've been
doing. Third and longs.
They've been maxed. Cause see, that's the one big difference from football 10 years ago to football today. Football is all about sub packages now.
Okay.
Sub packages, guys that work well together, guys that can do this and that together.
Right.
That's why you very seldom see the same defense out there play after play unless the offense is the same set. That's what it is. You got to match up because it's hard to put out there all run guys against a team that's lined up empty all the time.
Right.
Then it's hard to go diamond nickel with a team that's out there at 2 tight ends and with 2 running backs. And trying to do something there. So, it's tough.
It's finding what package that they can be fit into.
It's fun. And the thing is, you got to have guys that can play in space. Now I see Timothy makes a comment about Anzalone only has 4 tackles and runs past the tacklers. That's true. He doesn't take good angle, but the thing about it is, Anzalone is the number 1 guy on the team with assisted tackles. Means he causes more tackles for other people than they do for themselves.
He's athletic, bro.
That's what it is.
He's an athletic player.
He flashes.
He flashes, bro.
He's not as fast as what Michael Kendrick. I don't know if people paid attention when Michael Kendrick first got to the league and he actually played with the Seattle Seahawks when he first came into the league. But what Michael Kendrick was doing, that's when people started noticing how good Bobby Wagner is. Michael Kendrick was so fast at just getting to the ball, but he'll always overrun it, overshoot it, do something that will put him out of position. And they will always, but the running back don't know he coming out of position. All they see is big guy coming real fast,
flashing,
and I gotta get up out of here.
Right.
And so they make a move, and Bobby Wagner played so perfectly off of him that he used to always fit in right there, and he was the sure tackler.
Right.
Hey, Derrick Johnson has made a living in the league doing the same thing. He always played on the outside with a dominant pass rusher.
He was an outside linebacker at Texas, running the 4-4.
And he understand how to fit it off of the end. Then when they moved him into the inside toward the end of his career, hey, he understood like let these young players flash.
You saw he gained a little weight because he had to shut off blockers.
Right, and see and if you notice, Anzalone and Von Bell usually plays on the same side of the field. Why? This is the reason why. Anzalone's going to overrush a lot of plays. But Von Bell, like I said earlier, Von Bell is the second best open field tackle on his team. It's a reason why Von Bell has the numbers here, because Anzalone out there on the field with him.
Right.
And that's all it is. It's just some packages now. So some people don't give you what you want all the time. Like Tyler Davidson plays, and you won't even know Tyler Davidson is playing.
Right. You won't even know that he's on the field.
But when you slow down a play that Matt Teo, DeMario Davis, Sheldon Rankins, Cam Jordan makes a tackle for loss, you always see Tyler Davidson or number 76. I'm about to say Jay Brown, but that's not his name. Stalwart. They do their job of not letting the center or the guard get up to the next level so these guys can flow in.
Right.
But there's no stat for that.
Right.
There's no stat for that. There's no stat for rushing the quarterback and making him climb up into the pocket. And by him climbing up to the pocket, he doesn't have time to throw the timing route and throws the pick, like the pick that P.J. Williams got. Cam Jordan came off the edge so fast that Kirk Cousins stepped up, and he was getting pressure from Sheldon Rankins all game that he doesn't step up. He steps into the line, tries to throw it before
Diggs stops.
Diggs get there. Diggs stops, and PJ's.
He just kept running. Ball fell in his hand, and he kept running.
And see, it's no stats for that, but it's PJ understanding. Look, my D line starting to get that now. It's Cam understanding. Look, I can rush fast off the edge now because Sheldon is getting pressure to the inside, and Sheldon understands. Look, I can get this one-on-one matchup because Marcus Davenport just got a sack.
Right.
And Stalwart or Davidson is not letting this guy come back to block me. They get the double team.
Right.
It's all working together.
Now, Dexter said this, man, true test coming against the Rams. They beat us last year. They just a complete team, but Green Bay had them beat.
Well, look, since you brought it up,
we're going to shift that gear. We brought it up.
We're going to go ahead and shift
that was the next conversation we're going to have. Saints, Rams coming up. I would say this, Dexter, when it comes to that game, I did get a chance to peek at that game. I watched a good bit of that game this past week. I would say this. Green Bay played a heck of a game. I'm not going to put it all on the line where you look at the Ty Montgomery fumble.
I put it on that shit. How the hell you take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hand?
I would say that.
Take the ball out of Drew Brees.
You cannot not give that guy an opportunity. It doesn't guarantee the Packers a victory by any means, but that guy needs an opportunity. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. He needs that opportunity. But again, it's 4 quarters of football. At the end of the day, that fumble was the problem in that game. But at the end of the day, the Rams played a heck of a game. Like I said, I can't guarantee that the Packers going to go down there and kick that field goal. Mason Carpenter and miss some field goals this year. So I can't say the Packers were completely going to win. But that Rams team, what we have seen when they play, especially in these past few weeks, adversity. This team has, had to find ways. It wasn't just these dominating performance wins. They had to find ways to knit and grit a win. And that's what these guys still looking for that team to come in the walls and try to do. Which I don't know. They got an MVP candidate in Ty Gurley to me. He leads the league, and I think he has 12 or 13 touchdowns already. He's the MVP candidate to me. He's probably also the top-rated running back in rushing yards. Heck of a football player. Deserves every bit of that $15 million a year that he's getting, because right now he's on pace to actually break an NFL record in most touchdowns in the season. He's deserving every bit of it. You got to give Jared Goff a lot of credit. You got to ask yourself, Jared Goff is, since Sean McVay has been the head coach, he's been like that first overall pick caliber player. He's kind of mastered that system. He's making plays. Guys like Brandon Cooks are coming back to New Orleans. Robert Woods going to make some plays. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to this matchup, but I think the Saints are going to make plays. That's especially when you look at that Vikings defensive line. That Vikings defensive line is a heck of a defensive line. You know, they got a new addition, a new toy. Rams defensive line. They got a new addition, but we got to talk about the guys that already got there. Michael Brockers, Aaron Donald, Sue, their linebacker, core. They got, guys like Mark Barron. I don't know if Akeem Talib is going to be back for this game at all. Marcus Peters is still a good player. They still got Joyner. And that guy, Wade Phillips, know how to call a pretty good defense. They got a pretty good team overall. But I think the Saints coming into home, playing through some adversity, I got the Saints winning this game. What do you think, Coach N?
Man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something good. Straight up, man. Look, the Saints is the team here. The Saints is a team. I want y'all to keep that word in mind for when I go through this breakdown. Okay. The Rams are a balanced attack.
Yeah.
Well, the Saints are a balanced attack, too. They both scored 33 points a game. The Saints is the number one rush defense.
Correct.
They can make you one-dimensional and make you have to pass the ball every time. The Rams can't. The Saints defense plays as a unit. The Saints defense plays as a unit. The Rams defense doesn't.
Okay.
You check all the Rams games so far. The best offensive line they played was last week against the Green Bay Packers. You see with Aaron Rodgers, Adam Jones, and whoever they was else putting that at running back for the Packers was doing to them. The Rams are about to face the best offensive line they ever seen this year. I don't know if y'all really paid attention to the commentary for the Saints-Vikings game where they talked about two people on the Saints offensive line. Terod Armstead, Ryan Ramczyk are rated as a duo the number one tackle tandem in the league. In the league.
Okay.
These two are rated the number one. Well, why is that such a big thing this week, Coach? Well, in the new 3-4 defense that the Rams are running, Aaron Donald plays in. Michael Brockers plays in. You're going up against Terod Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk. Also, Max Unger took a huge step. Look, he's a dog. He's a dog. But last year, Linval Joseph had that ball dancing like he was at the second line. This year, Linval Joseph didn't want none of that smoke.
Right.
Didn't want none of it. So what does that say? Well, they run a 3-4. There's three more offensive linemen out there. Well, Unger will be up on Sue.
Right.
I mean, Andrews Pete and Warford can chip and help in any direction. Wade Phillips doesn't blitz that much no more because he doesn't have DeMarcus Webb, Von Miller, Neil Smith. You go all the way, you just go back and follow Wade Phillips' career. He's always had dominant edge players. That's why he put Brockers and Donald on the edge to give him that dominant edge player because he doesn't have it from the linebacking core that he's usually used to. The biggest advantage I say the Saints have, first of all, Talib stopped playing. Marcus Peters looked like he was a 7th round pick last week.
He's not like the same player he was in Kansas City.
No. And the main reason why, because when he played at Kansas City, he had a bad
Eric Berry.
And Eric Berry right there. He also had a hellified front 7 in front of him with the likes of D. Ford, Justin Houston, Dontari Pro at times, Taba Ali.
Taba Ali.
You know, he had. Look,
And he had a guy who could call defensive Derrick Johnson.
You know, he had some forces up there with him. This is a totally different team that the Rams have seen from last year. They made a huge joke. Now I kept saying team for a reason. All right. The biggest problem that the Rams are going to have in this game is at times they play too individualized. At times you'll have Donald and Sue looking at each other like who gonna get back there first, and ignore the play call that's being held and try to make the play on their own. And when they don't get there, it's problems. LaMarcus Joyner is trying to show people why he should be paid. long term, and he's putting himself out of position. Marcus Peters is trying to get a long-term deal. He's taking more gamble than
he's been aggressive. He's been very aggressive.
And it's starting to kick him in the butt.
Look.
And nobody knows who that other guy is, but Michael Thomas is about to find out. I see the Saints winning this one in a big statement factor. Now, I don't do scores or nothing like that because I always feel a game got to be played. But let me tell you something. It's not like 3 years ago, Saints is 79. The Dome wasn't the Dome. Look, the Dome is back.
Yeah.
The Dome is back. And the one thing about Sean McVay's offense with Jared Goff is kind of college-like. You see a lot of check with me stuff. You see him get to the line and say, ready, you know what I'm saying, do this, then he'll check over there to McVay real quick, or McVay will try to say something in his helmet while the time is still off for his mic, talking to his helmet. And you can't, you know, they play in the outdoor stadium. To allow the crowd is not really that much of a
I think they're sharing the stadium in USC.
Yeah, they do. They play in the Coliseum. The crowd is not that much of a factor as it will be when the sound is enclosed. You played in the Dome, baby. You played in the Dome. And I tell you what, this will probably be when the Saints win the Super Bowl this year. This would be that moment on NFL TV, NFL videos and all that stuff.
NFL films.
NFL film, that's what I'm looking for. NFL film, when they go back to this matchup.
It's a heck of a matchup, man.
Because, to me, this determines who's the number 1 seed after
when it comes all that down. I will say this. Marty B says we got to hit Goff to win. Timothy Kincaid said he'll be out, and it's who that. I say this, man. Listen. I'm gonna read some for y'all. So far, these are the Rams' first 8 games of the season. They played the Oakland Raiders, where they won 33-13. They played the Arizona Cardinals, who they won 34-0. They played the Los Angeles Chargers, who just, at the time they had a losing record. They beat them 35-23. Then their first real test with the Minnesota Vikings, that was that Thursday night football game, where it kind of had a shootout, 38-31. That was their first real test. The Seattle Seahawks, who's struggling offensively. Got a lot of replacement of the defensive end of the football. They won that game 33-31 in Seattle. Denver Broncos, struggling this year. Finding a new way at the quarterback, just made a trade we'll talk about in a second. And that defense has not been the same defense since that Super Bowl year because they lost some key players. Talib, and Malik Jackson and Javate, they lost some players. So that defense is still recovering. So they won that game in Denver. They won 23-20. Then they played the 49ers with no Jared Goff. We already know what that team looks like without a Jared Goff on that team right now. They won 39-10, and they played Green Bay last week, which looked like another test they kind of had for the first time, playing that bad man and Aaron Rodgers at home, 29-27. The two big tests that they had this year were the Vikings, and they played the Packers, to the NFC North teams. Obviously, when they're going to play the NFC West, they're going to play the division, they're going to dominate the division.
So it's sorry.
It's sorry. They played the Raiders. The Raiders bad. They're bad.com. I don't know what John Gruden down there thinking.
Chip Kelly.
2.0. All the way. Denver.
Chucky.
Yeah. Denver, still recovering. Got a lot of changes going on. Got some good defensive players in there, but still ain't where they think they need to be. The Chargers, at the time, were not a very good team, but now their record's starting to recover from that game. They haven't really faced teams that I think that are truly outside of the Vikings or Packers that are postseason caliber teams. When you look at the Saints playing when you play a team like the Baltimore Ravens, who had the #1 defense in the league, man, look, that team there is a playoff contender team. When you start looking at the Atlanta Falcons are starting to get back some wins. They may play highly rated offense. Could have lost that game. Took up a big W. I know Tampa Bay is not having the season they having. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Browns in a moment. The firing of Hue Jackson. But when you start looking at past that, man, the Saints are having teams. They got to win games that are contenders. And they had to overcome it and learn who they are. I understand the Saints didn't have a Mark Ingram the first 4 weeks of the season. Man, they're back. To me, you're playing in the Superdome. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be a highly anticipated game. It's going to be the biggest game in New Orleans this Sunday. I mean, I love what they have done. Again, I'm a big fan of Gurley. He's an MVP candidate to me. But this game right here got Drew Brees stamped all over it. I got Drew Brees having one of those same Drew Brees-esque kind of games that you mentioned, where he has one of those 75 completion percentage of games, over 300 yards passing, over a few touchdowns in this game. And I
don't see it that way.
I can see how I could get that way.
I see it being a big Kamara Ingram game. I see it being
between the tackles?
Between where screens, runs, I see it being a 300-yard or 250 something yard combined effort from scrimmage between them two.
Big game. Big game.
I really do.
Big game.
All right, last year when we played them, they had Mark Barron.
Yeah.
They had Donald.
They had Ogletree.
They had Brockers. They had I can't think of his name. He played defensive end.
Did they have Quinn last year? Did they have Robert Quinn?
No. Yeah, they did have Robert Quinn, but they had the other guy who didn't believe in damn dinosaurs. Shit.
God
damn it.
It's on top of my head. I know who you're talking about.
That motherfucker.
Right.
You had all of them, and then to me, you lost at the quarterback position because you had Tremaine.
Tremaine
was as good as in coverage as he was as in run support. So you lost a lot in that part. Now, Corey Littleton is having a good year roughly because nobody knows who the hell he is.
Right.
Mark Barron will always be Mark Barron.
Yeah.
A safety who couldn't play. Who couldn't
play safety. A safety who can play safety. Move down linebacker.
He's
Blitzing.
excelling at the linebacker spot because he's blitzing and he's faster than most
linebacker
at that position.
Yeah.
But they had to face an offense like this. Look, the Packers are the Packers, but you also, even when they say look, we gonna run the ball, you just looking for a shotgun 5-wide type deal that they gonna pass it. They had to face an offense that can beat you with the pass and
the run. Because the Packers can't beat you running the football.
Nah, the Saints can. How they handle Taysom Hill is gonna be a big factor.
Yeah, White Uptown.
I think what Peyton did last week put a wrinkle in everybody's game plan.
Because you never thought he was going to throw the football.
And how I knew it was coming, and a lot of people thought it was going to be like the little dope pass here, like that. When you come out the first time everybody sees him, and he launches that sucker on the rope.
Now, Joshua says this. I see PJ with another pick 6.
Hey. I like your thinking. Joshua Duplessis. I hope I said it right. Try to put a little sauce on it.
Man, listen. I'm praying for it because I know what I am gonna get. About 9 more targets.
See, my thing is this. This is my thing. Here's the ultimate X factor. The Rams want to go deep.
Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods.
PJ is not bad in deep coverage. PJ is bad in the short intermediate shit.
The double move.
Hey, look. If you want to know what PJ can't do, go back and watch the Falcons Saints game.
Calvin Ridley.
Every day every day that Calvin Ridley got was short and sweet, or move here and there. But when you try PJ Williams deep, that's your problem. That's your fault, and that's what the Rams want to do.
I mean, you can catch a pass on them deep. Diggs did, but Diggs is an exceptional receiver.
This is my thing. You got to find out what all your guys are good at. PJ is a press type quarterback. He's been that since high school. Why the hell are we saying PJ back up 5 yards, get this motherfucker a good run to start at you, and try to speed turn?
That's not his strength. And if you ask him to cover that way, he gonna get beat.
You in the league where you can run combo man, combo zone coverages. Hell, if we can do it at the high school level, why the hell you can't do it at the NFL level?
Now, Timothy Kincaid said 3 quarterbacks, baby. Throw the 3 quarterbacks. They had a 3 quarterback option out there.
Man, look,
that was bad.
Here's the thing. You can't get too cute. Don't get too cute. Don't get cute and try to be all sexy and do and out scheme yourself for not and take yourself out the game. Don't do it that way. Do it the old-fashioned way.
Round him. Yeah. Now, Joseph DeGray says PJ needs to be benched.
Who you gonna put in for?
Justin Hardy?
Who you gonna put in for? Who you gonna put in for? You want Crawley back out there?
I don't know.
Remember that's how we see Crawley? Y'all been with Crawley all year?
So which one's worse?
Crawley. There's a reason why he didn't suit up. Crawley his ass to the bench. There's a reason why you go trade for Eli Apple. Crawley. You ain't trading to replace Marshawn Lattimore. You trade to replace Crawley. His name sounds crazy. Crawley.
So you saying I should be putting King Crawley in my Burn Unit Hall of Fame?
Crawley. Crawley gonna crawl that bitch. Look. Crawley. Look, let me tell you something, man. Ken pulled the ultimate psych move on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm trying. Y'all remember how it was, like, you know what I'm saying, when we were kids? And be like, man, I got these mambas, I got these annihilators, you know what I'm saying? And, like, especially like the little girls, you know what I'm saying? The girl from Kinder Heights, they'll mess with you. You know what I'm saying? They'll have, like, they'll put all the little annihilator white little cover papers back in the annihilator thing, and they'll close the little annihilator. You like, you want some annihilator? I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got annihilator on Monday. You got annihilator on Tuesday. Here come Wednesday, like, yeah, man, I know Keisha gonna give me that annihilator, man. She like the dudes from Cabinet Street, man. She gonna give me an annihilator. You try to get that annihilator, and you grab it, and then all her little click, psych, you was laughing. That was Kid Crawley the entire ass. Last year, you like, man, Kid Crawley ain't sorry no more, man. Yeah, Kid balling. And you like, okay, good. And this year, you like, man, she Lattimore back, Crawley back. Yeah, we good.
You thought you had that 09 deep when you had Jabari Greer and Tracy Porter.
Psych! Crawley went back to what the hell he was. Sorry as a motherfucker. Look.
YourBad.com.
How you trade for a guy on Wednesday, and this man been practicing Crawley, been practicing all week, and is a healthy scratch on Sunday. And the man who just touched down
is active.
He didn't even practice on Wednesday. He flew from New York. Because he got traded at like 3-something. That's like 4-something in New York time. So he had to pack up his apartment, pack up all his stuff, had to call somebody, hey, Marshawn, can I stay with you? All right, well, look, hit me up with an apartment somewhere, get all that stuff take care of. Fly down, miss Wednesday, meet with the team Thursday, sign all the paperwork and stuff, finally get out there and take the physical and all that stuff, get on the practice field the last 30 minutes, so you just got Friday and you travel Saturday, and this man start over crawling.
You're bad. Can't call it bad, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Why won't they let PJ press? You got to ask Dennis Allen that.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on that.
Dennis Allen is the same guy who we had PJ Williams and we had Crawley. And he decided to say, you know what, Devontae Harris, you the one. The boy get torched. The boy look like ass and she-she's on Memorial Day weekend. Get slapped left and right, jiggling all over the place. Couldn't cover his way out of a phone booth. Look what happened.
So you saying when P-Rob come back, Ken Crawley should be released? Because when P-Rob come back, he come back. Somebody got to get cut. Somebody can't make it.
I don't care who he released. Crawley always, or PJ. But see, this is my thing. PJ has more value because I honestly believe PJ can play a hellified safety position too. The problem is Marcus Williams is doing his damn thing. Because PJ doesn't get beat deep. He gets beat on the intermediate stuff. What happens if you line him up deep? And that's a lot of things that people don't realize. PJ is actually the second string safety for this team.
So you're saying Ken Crawley has no value outside getting beat for deep?
Well, I mean, look, this is the thing about Crawley. You put him on the outside, torch. I'm talking about South Carolina, the Ku Klux Klan coming back with the tiki torch. You put him in the inside, it's Ricky Bobby, Talladega Night. It's shake and bake. They don't even sell shake and bake chicken and stuff no more. That's how bad it is.
Oh, man.
That's what we was putting out there.
Now, Marty B said Crawley can learn from his benching because Allen will play him again. And Timothy Kim K says special teams.
Man, look, if PJ Williams healthy and Crawley healthy and Crawley get put out there, then Allen need to be fired on the spot. Along with Aaron Glenn. Why the hell we calling for Crawley? I'll put Kamara out there before I put Crawley out there again.
Hey, man, look, listen. Someone say on here, listen, Taysom Hill at corner.
Hey, right, look.
Joseph DeGray said Taysom Hill at corner.
Let me explain something to you. I'm nowhere near racist. But right uptown, is the reason why white boys don't play cornerback.
There was one.
J.C. Horn.
The last.
For everybody.
He wasn't that bad. He got bad when he get to the Rams and they moved him to safety. But at corner,
No. He had them 3 good seasons.
He held Ross to two catches, 18 yards in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, 3 good seasons.
He held Moss to two catches, 18 yards in the NFC Championship game.
Moss was also high and drunk. He admitted to it. He wasn't flip-flops. He was loaded.
Hey,
that's what he was.
NFC Championship game, 2 catches, 18 yards.
And he was loaded.
Now, he did get beat by Brandon Stokely in that touchdown.
Brandon Stokely. All people. Look, I can't say that about Stokely. Stokely got 2 rings.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, he got 2 rings. One with Peyton, one with
Baltimore.
Braves.
Yeah.
Like, I give him that. But, come on now. But, you know, this is the thing. Don't be fooled by the success that Taysom was having on the offensive side. Because, look, as much as I like what Taysom doing, next year, he won't have the success that he had. A gimmick only works for so long. It's the reason why the Wildcat. Remember when the Wildcat first hit the scene, and it was Lamar Smith with Ricky Williams and Miami, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, how do you stop that offense?" And then everybody started doing it for little by little, and then
teams gonna catch up.
Then 2 years after, it's like, and I'm worried about. Look, it's a reason why Russell Wilson has struggled the 2 seasons prior. That read option don't work in the league no more.
Teams gonna catch up.
Once people figure it out, it's a wrap.
Teams gonna catch up.
So don't get confused, like, because he have success on offense. Like, all right, yeah. And look, that's why Sean letting him throw the ball deep last week was so huge. Because now it's like, what do you do? Because first it was just strictly the read option type thing, and him running over people. Then it was. It ain't gonna hurt the try, man. I agree with you, Joseph. It was the running the sweep. Then it was him throwing deep. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt to try. Shit me. This white uptown is running on confidence. The worst way to lose confidence is to get beat and then get bossed on and then cause a touchdown. Oh, yeah.
Oh, get Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
I would say this. Before we get this shit gives, man, listen, I like white uptown. Heck of a football player, but, I don't know. Put him at corner, it's a bit of a stretch. I will tell you this much, though. I think they need to, if you do fantasy football like I do, they need to let him be eligible for corner, let him be eligible for receiver, tight end, and whatever.
He need to be that. He
needs to be eligible. He needs to be eligible for receiver and running back points too.
He is
Bottom
the
line.
main reason why you created that flex spot.
Yeah, he needs to be eligible for it.
His spot needs to say
Bottom
flex.
line, he needs to be able for flex. Every draft situation, every draft, fantasy football. I know everybody feel when I say that. He needs to be eligible for running back and flex. He needs to be eligible for it. Bottom line.
Because some of y'all still hold on to Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, you're bad. Shifting gears, not spend too much time on this. Browns fire Hue Jackson and offensive coordinator Todd Haley. What's your take on the coaching?
What the hell took so long? I mean, the man.
You a fan of John Dorsey?
I like John Dorsey.
Yeah, you a fan of John Dorsey.
Right? Look, Hue is a hell of an offensive coordinator. The man with, first of all, you show up for work a whole year and you get 0 results. And whatever the hell you do. I don't care if it's flipping burgers. If every burger you flip is burnt and get sent back, your ass fired. If every time you supposed to sweep up trash and you waste stuff in the middle of this flow, you're fired.
You're fired.
If you supposed to change tire and every tire that you change come back flat or it fell off the rim, you're fired. Right. This man is in charge of $1 billion industry and got no dividends.
Goose egg. 0. Nada.
And for 6 weeks, you got the right people in place. Yeah, you start off good. You got a tie against the arch nemesis. All right. Should have won it, but hey. First game. Second game, your field goal kicker cost you that one. Hey, all right, no crowd over Steelman because I'm a Saints fan.
Right.
Third game, you finally got you one.
Beat the Jets, baby.
You finally got you one.
Beat the Jets.
What the hell happened since then?
You're bad.
Tyrod Taylor get hurt for a quarter, and you go Baker crazy. You hired a guy on your staff that don't respect you. And Todd Haley. To me, Todd Haley was a snake in the grass. He was trying to push his way up to being the head coach, and why both of them got the X. I think Todd Haley should have been fired for the simple fact, first of all, he left the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, he left the Steelers. Where you have Big Ben, Hall of Fame quarterback. AB, arguably 1-2 at his position. Juju Smith-Schuster. Hey, you know how to use him. Yeah, you didn't know what you had if Le'Veon would come back or not, but you see what James Conner doing right now. You left that position to come to a team, and a team that's used to winning, a winning culture to come to a losing culture. Mm-hmm. You know, there's no successful person that makes a downward move.
All right.
Matt Patricia was a defense coordinator for the Patriots. He made an upward move because now the organizations are totally different, but
he became a head coach.
Defense coordinator to head
coach.
Okay.
You made a lateral move in the same division.
He didn't. Matt Patricia didn't say, you know what? I'm going from being a defense coordinator here at the Patriots to be the damn DC, the Arizona Cardinals.
Or the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Ain't like he went from the Patriots to the Dolphins to still be D coordinator.
Yeah, in the same division. You jumped from division to division, and I think you tried to snake your way to the top, and you got what's coming for you. That guillotine, don't look. Gravity wins at all costs of life. You lost that one, but
I would say this, man. Listen, John Dorsey, you're about 5 games overdue for that. But I think. Listen, first of all, I think John Dorsey wanted to make that firing happen way before the season started.
Yeah.
I think when John Dorsey got hired, I think that was something that John Dorsey wanted to do from day one. I just think that he needed time inside of the situation he was in to establish that firing. The record validated. First of all, let's get something very clear. He went 3-36-1. That's the record. I don't know how long a head coach could be a head coach in the National Football League and be coaching 2.5 years on the same team and only had 3 wins. I understand it's the Browns, but the firing was merit. At some point in time, we got to really recognize what Hue Jackson is. He can coach the positions. He's a heck of an offensive coordinator. He is no different from a guy like a Wade Phillips. And there are certain other guys who have been great defensive coordinators that they are not going to be good head coaches. Greg Williams. Wade Phillips. Just to name a few guys like that. A guy on the offensive end. Ken Wisenhunt. Can't be a head coach. He may be able to coordinate the offense, but he can't be a head coach.
Oh, shit. Jim Haslett.
Jim Haslett, another one. Great defensive coordinator, can't be a head coach. Swartz, Don Capers. Great defensive coordinator, can't be a head coach. You have those guys in the league. Hue Jackson is that guy on the offensive end of the football.
But that's it.
And that's just what it is.
It's fine. Look.
And that's fine.
I feel bad for the man. You lost your mother. The beginning of the year and all that stuff. You never. I will say this too. Now, even though his record says 3-36, that's all that anybody would talk about. He was not set up for success.
He wasn't.
Nah, the new coach, this coach is set
He
up
will
for
be.
success.
He will be.
He
will be.
That's the one thing I want to put out there. He was his first year. Look what you did. Look, you gave him no help.
Nothing.
You
Nothing.
gave him quarterback after quarterback. You didn't invest nothing. You didn't do nothing to try
to make that situation good.
Make the situation better. Then the next year, you get the number 1 draft pick. You get
Myles Garrett.
Okay.
You got Njoku, you got Jabril Peppers. You traded for Jamie Collins. You started to get some situation.
You started making a little headway, and then right before the damn season start, you give away his best quarterback, Joe Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? You can't stop nobody.
Right.
You still don't give this man a quarterback.
Right.
And this was all in the same GM at the time.
Right.
So
you have Ray Fulmer.
So that was bad. 2 years in a row, back to back. So now a new GM who knows how to construct to you. So now, all right, good. I got, you know what I'm saying, and you see the moves right away. All right, go get Baker Mayfield, go get Giselle Ward, go get Nick Chubb. You know what I'm saying? Hey, give me juice. I'll make it work.
Yeah, I'll make it work. Yeah, hey, paid him.
You not using Josh Gordon? Okay, look, let's get rid of him.
Right.
Go get somebody else. We'll make it work. Hey, look.
I got Corey Coleman not being productive. Traded him.
Get rid of him.
Yeah.
That's a bad draft pick for the previous regime. Hey, look, all the draft picks that he's picked so far is
productive.
Producing.
Productive.
And look, he's weeding out the bad guys that could potentially
bring the team down and damage the locker room.
Look, Michael Kendrick was a stand-up guy. Inside
traded out of there.
Released him right on back. Didn't give him a chance. Hey,
out of here.
Look what happened.
Out of here.
The team picked him up. Now he's suspended for the whole year.
Yeah.
And he's still going. He still might have fair time. He's knows what he's doing, but Hue didn't get the chance to reap all that benefits. I firmly believe had Hue and John Dorsey came into this together, it was being told we wouldn't even be having this.
We may have a conversation.
But it's one of those.
A coach is graded on his wins and loss record. That's just the bottom line. A coach is responsible for the win and loss of that team. That's just it. The players are responsible for executing. We judge players based upon execution. We judge coaches on game plan and wins and losses. Players are just designed to execute. Now, granted, most players want to win, but their job is to execute with the game plan that's been out there to play. And then when the player don't execute game plan, that player is judged and he gets released. Right. When that coach doesn't win, he is graded on the win-loss. And his loss record tremendously outweighs his win record. And at some point in time, you have to call it quits because you got to tell people in that locker room that, guess what, man, this we can't have this. And it's not. That's just what it is. Can't have it.
Well, look, this just came in. Hue Jackson calls out the Browns. And I just said this. Feel like Nostradamus.
Right.
Had we been doing in year 1 when I was able to get us to do in year 3, no question, we'll be a winning football team. And that is fact.
That's facts.
That is facts. That is fact. And that's the sad.
That's the sad part.
That's the sad part of football.
Yeah.
That's the sad part of football. Prime example. If y'all don't understand what I'm talking about, prime example. Jacksonville Jaguars was loaded on defense. Loaded on defense.
Yeah.
Loaded on defense, loaded on defense, loaded on defense. Making free agent sign after free agent signing, draft pick after high draft pick, all go on the defensive side. They couldn't score. What do? You had that coach sit there, whether that storm, but he finally said, like, you know what, we can do something this year. We got Fournette, we got blah, 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 blah. He gets fired. In comes Doug Moreau, who's an offensive guy.
Right.
These motherfuckers go to
AFC Championship. A game from the Super Bowl.
A drive away from the
Super Bowl.
A drive away from the Super Bowl.
Now you think that's not Gus Bradley situation?
Gus Bradley said that whole like,
ain't this about a blimp?
If you would have did this, if you would have let me hire the offensive guy that I wanted, excuse me, in year 1 or 2, we will be here by now.
Right.
But you don't do it. Look what happens. We see it time and time again.
Basketball. Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. You know, it happens in sports. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a perfect example. I gave you the biggest example of recent memory that most people don't want to talk about. Tony Dungy. This is going back. Tony Dungy and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Buddy, it happens. It happens around the sports league all the time when one guy comes in all of a sudden who built the organization, the program, then also one guy comes in. Let me tell you something. Whoever going to be the next Brown head coach, they're gonna have success. You're gonna see. You're gonna see.
In 2 years.
Yeah, you're gonna see a 10-win team. You're gonna see a 10-win team. They're gonna be rolling. You be like, that's all Hue.
And then that's going to increase the stigma on Hue Jackson.
On Hue Jackson.
Oh man, he can't do it. It's like,
no.
Look what you did.
He had a bad situation and turned it out to be something pretty good.
Look what he had.
He couldn't reach the award.
You wanted to.
Yeah.
Look at year 3. That's all it is.
He couldn't reap the reward. That's all it was.
I'm trying to think. What's another situation like that we see?
Man.
Prime example. The number 1 team in the NFL right now is the Rams. Jeff Fisher was a defensive head guy. He hired a conservative OC and all that stuff. And it's like, wow. Your defense is great. You're a tough out. You're a tough win, but y'all can't score points, and it is what it is. All of a sudden, he gets fired. Sean McVay comes in. Is not a defensive person whatsoever.
Right.
All of a sudden, this team goes from a laughingstock to winning their damn division. How? He was set up the right way.
He was set up the right way.
That's all it is.
In a lot of cases, that be the case. A lot of guys are just set up the right way. The teams are set up and they're set up the right way.
It's nothing bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. Nothing magical about it. Prime example. Who was the head coach? Todd Haley. Todd Haley was the head coach for the Chiefs. And John Dorsey let John Dorsey do what John Dorsey does, and he started drafting. It was too late.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Reid said, "I'm done in Philly." John Dorsey sees this opportunity. Say, "Hey, look, you go."
Mm-hmm.
Andy Reid comes in. they go into the playoff for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, happens.
And that's crazy to say.
Happens.
That was a franchise that had. Now listen to this in the backfield, back to back. Priest Holmes. Well, Priest Holmes. Larry Johnson. Jamal Charles. Back to back. Dante Hall. Wade Bowe.
At the time you also had Gonzalez on that roster. This is Tony. He went in Atlanta then.
That's right, Tony Gonzalez.
You had Tony.
Then you bring in Andy Reid, get Macklin, and all you do is make one move. Come on, Alex Smith. Y'all go to the damn playoffs every year. Now you can't win the first round.
Got there.
Go every year.
Go every year. It happens that way. I mean, he's a I'm not he's a victim, but I think he's a better OC than he could be a head coach, and I think he'd be still be a great OC at any situation in the team. But I just think when you put him at head coach, I think he could be prosperous, but he got to go to a winning situation. I don't think I would want to have Hue build a situation from ground up. No. Let him be the OC, and Ty Haley. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You've had a lot of coordinating positions. I think Pittsburgh was your best situation for you to lead that. I got a question, if I want to bring you in. I got a question if I want to bring you in because I don't know what agenda you got. I just don't. But moving on, switch gears.
Trade
deadline that just happened, man. They had a lot of deals that happened at the trade deadline. A lot of different deals, Coach Henry, that happened at the trade deadline. Some of the big trade line headlines we want to get into about. I'll start, from here. Clint Dix was traded from the Packers to the Redskins.
No, I just stay right there. Do you think it was a good deal or a bad deal?
I think it was a good deal for the Redskins. I think when you put him back there with DJ Swearinger, back there in that backfield, him and DJ, I think they got you got a Josh Norman down there who's played okay. He hasn't been in the Pro Bowl play and he hasn't lived up to his contract. But I don't think he's going to re-sign with the Packers, and I think the Redskins got a good player.
To me, it's a win-win. You had him. You've been trying to negotiate with him for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Couldn't get nothing done.
Couldn't get nothing done.
You rolled it out as long as you can ride it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you let teams start seeing that, look, he's back to the Pro Bowl. Like, all right. Look,
right.
He ain't re-signed him. I'm a firm believer in don't let nothing walk away free. If you know it's gone.
Facts.
Look, it's just like, look, you sell cars.
Yeah.
If I know my alternator or my starter about to go out,
I'm getting rid of the car.
Guess what? It's good enough to get to the dealership, and it's good enough for the dealership to get that sucker and drive it around like, oh yeah. You got the right mileage on the stuff to where I can trade this sucker in and probably get a brand new car.
Yeah.
Off the flow, no miles, and pay half of what I was gonna pay for it. You best believe.
Done.
But if I sit there and wait till the car can't run no more,
and wonder why I can't get nothing for it.
I fuck.
I got
something I can't use.
Can't fuck, right.
And I got to come out of pocket to go get something and hope it
right.
lasts. And that's what, to me, in this situation, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
You wasn't going to resign him. You got rid of him. You got something back for him. And now you can try to develop what you got there.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you see it's not working, you know where you need to go for his free agency.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Win-win. Second deal we got. The Rams trade for former 3rd overall pick from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Dante Fowler.
Harbor deal.
For what team?
Smart on Jacksonville part.
But bad on Rams.
What you gonna do with him?
See, we on the same page here.
What you gonna do with him?
We're on the same page here. I don't think it's the trade that everyone think it is. What you gonna do with him?
I can see if you was a 4-man. I can see you say, no, we're going to do 4-3. And you say, you know what, I'm going to put Sue and Donald inside, let Broncos play on the outside, put Fowler in and say, oh, wide child. But you said it's too late to say your scheme. You're the
right.
Right. What you going to do, put him on the outside, and then now teams are going to know where your rush is coming from.
Yeah, what you going to do, stand him up? What you going to do?
They're going to put the back to his side and say, all right, if he blitz, you release because he can't cover you.
Correct. I think, we on the same page for this one. To me, at the end of the day, the way the Rams want to play, listen, I know when the people heard the trade, they had a lot of reactions to it. listen, I was tweeting and said, listen, great deal for the Jags. And people say the Rams the Rams got to listen. That shit sounds good on paper. How they gonna use him? What you gonna do with him? He has one ability, and that's to rush the quarterback, and that's only really on third down.
And to me, what
you gonna do with him? How you gonna use him?
It's a bad situation because I already said earlier that team is full of individuals.
Yeah.
So
that's all you did. That's all you did. So it looked like the deal when you brought in Vince Young to that Eagles team, and it looked like, oh, we got a dream team. It looks like that. How you gonna use him?
That stuff is tough in a team environment.
Yeah, exactly. It's to me, I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna use him. That's not a good situation. Then plus, he's not a guy that you're gonna re-sign for that money. So therefore, you're only bringing him in because you're thinking maybe an injury gonna happen, something like that. He's light. I mean, he can only rush the quarterback. He's not a situational player. He's injury prone. He can't stay healthy. It sounded good when it happened, but to me, not a good deal. Great deal by the Jaguars.
So that's what you got.
Ty Montgomery gets traded for a 2020 pick, 7th round, to the Ravens.
It's a buddy deal. To me, I'll understand why the Ravens will make this pick because you got Alex Collins, you got Vance Turner, who went to Alcorn, baby. Get him at the pigskin. Let him do what he do.
Then you got Buck Allen.
I don't understand. Now, if you're adding Ty Montgomery to be a receiver and not a running back, I'm like, hey, hold up. This will change my mind. But if you add him to be a part of that running back room, I'm like, bad move. But if you add him to be a part of the receiving room, I'm like, hey, you try to tell me you about to put out John Brown, Willie Snead, Ty Montgomery, and Mike Crabtree. Say you did something sexy there. And then on the flip side of it, look, if you're not happy, I don't care what type of business I have. If you're not happy, and you're gonna break down what I'm trying to do, and I can get something for you,
by all means. I think that fumble was the straw. That fumble was the straw. It was a straw.
To me, I was when the trade happened. I was like, that said all that I needed to say about that play. Because any other time, you gonna catch it, man. Look, 2 minutes more, they even hit you. I'm gonna catch up a deal. Boom.
Yeah.
You know, Aaron you'll get Aaron on the field.
Yeah, on the field.
But if you happy.
Yeah.
See, when you try to man, I'm gonna show these guys what they miss. I'm disgruntled. I'm not happy. I'm gonna show them why I should be getting the ball. Boom, boom, boom. You try to do too much, boom, you fumble. Then you lose the game for your team.
And I posted the FanView live when it happened. Listen, you fumble the ball, you don't give a guy an opportunity to try to win the game. You deserve to get traded, and you got traded. The two biggest ones, what most people consider the big ones, the Eagles getting traded for a 2019 pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Golden Tate was traded for a 2019 third-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's a good deal for the Eagles. I think that obviously, not getting Carson Wentz back. Obviously, Mike Wallace when you brought him in, didn't really pan out to what you thought it was going to be. Alshon Jeffrey took a couple of weeks to get back. Now he's back. You got Alshon back. You add another component to the offensive scheme down here in Golden Tate. Nelson Aguilar, I haven't heard much of him this year out of Philadelphia. Don't really know what you really have there. But I think Philadelphia is saying that, man, listen, with our record, the NFC East is still up for grabs. Obviously, the Redskins are still the leaders of this division. But the NFC East is up for grabs, and we got to make a deal to try to be competitive and get Carson Wentz the tools that he needs to try to win this division. They know that they don't win this division, they're not going to make the playoffs, which means they're not going to try to get an opportunity to get back in that hunt to try to repeat or just be competitive to try to win the championship again. I like Golden Tate as a weapon. I like he's a good player. The Lions, man. I guess you're just basically saying that Marvin Jones and the new addition in the other kid, I can't think of the other receiver's name. It's on top of my head. But you're basically saying, hey, listen, that or Kerryon Johnson is going to be a big factor in your offense where you'll be running the football a whole lot more. But I like the addition for the Eagles. I think it's a win for the Eagles. Loss for the Lions.
I'm on the flip side of it. I think it's a win for the Eagles. a win for the Lions because you got Kevin Galladay, you got Marvin Jones.
Holiday.
Kerryon Johnson, Matt Stafford has shown, ever since Megatron retired, he's shown that, look, I don't have to just look for one guy.
Distribute the ball.
Oh, yeah. And that's, look, the weak part of the Lions is not their offense. It's their defense. They having trouble, you know what I'm saying? And
that's going to take some time.
And what it is, too, how late Matt Patricia got there, because they went to the Super Bowl. They won, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They won the Super Bowl. So, it's tough. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl. And then, he comes after the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl happens in February. Get there, sign all the paperwork, all that stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't hired like in January like that.
Yeah,
You're right.
So,
hired like in March.
He's hired into the time of, like, all right, free agency is started, and you got to get ready for the draft for it.
Right.
And you got to set your whole staff. So this year's going to be tough. And then Jim Caldwell was kind of laid back. This is the total different dynamic. In Matt Patricia. He's from the Bill Belichick tree, so he's gonna do things when he saw it successful. So they're not used to practice this long. So you got the ones that's like, man, I ain't about to do it like Wade and all this stuff. And so I think Golden Tate was one of the most outspoken ones. So that's why the tweak was what it was. Look, I have been real Detroit about. Look, he happy to go like get away from that situation because I don't want to be in that situation.
Right.
To me, on the Eagles standpoint, this makes you totally one-dimensional. It makes you totally one-dimensional now. You go out there, you're going to have Zach Ertz, Alshon
Jeffrey, go to Tate.
Nelson Aguilar, Jordan Matthews is back with you. Go to Tate. You don't have a running game.
No, you don't.
You don't have a running game. So it's telling
and the runners are kind of like screen backs, Corey Clement and Wes Smallwood, scat backs.
You tipping your hand like, all right, we know what you're trying to do. So you just made it easy for teams to prepare against you. Now, if this is just an effort to win a division and try to make it to the playoffs, my thing is, what's good is trying to make it to the playoffs and then not being able to produce in the playoffs.
It's a start.
And my thing, I think, is it Golden Tate's up for a new contract?
I think he could be.
So you're not gonna give him that, so you just pretty much gave up a valuable draft pick for somebody if you don't resign. That's the only thing. What's the last?
The last one is Demaryius Thomas. It's traded. Demaryius Thomas, right before the deadline, was traded traded from the Broncos to the Texans for. They swapped 4th-round picks, and I think that they also says the Broncos got a 4th-round pick, and they swapped 7th-round picks. So Demaryius Thomas to the Texans. I say this. I think this is the best trade of them all for the Texans. You get Will Fuller had an injury, torn an ACL. He's out for the season. We already know we got DeAndre Hopkins.
But you was bad about your list, though. We'll get on your ass about that shit.
Talk about that. Best catcher I think I've witnessed. But you had a guy in Demaryius Thomas who in Denver had his best season, obviously. To me, he's he's a Reggie Wayne kind of receiver. He's really a great route runner. He gets out open in space. He can run the 10-yard out. He can run a dig route. He's not a deep ball threat, but he's a guy that can get open in space underneath targets. That's the Demaryius Thomas game. You put him, Deshaun Watson can learn how to get the ball to guys like Demaryius Thomas. We already know you got DeAndre Hopkins. And if Lamar Miller can keep stepping up and still making good plays, him and Alfred Blue. This team started off 0-2. They 5-2. They lead in the AFC South. I like the addition to a guy like with Demaryius Thomas because you know that he's not the number one target. We know who the number one target is. But when you can get a guy like that who can get open and out and get open in spacing and still, keep the pressure. Giving a guy like Deshaun Watson another solid player at the receiving position. I love it because at the end of the day, come postseason, having a guy like that who works hard, who get open in space and make so many different plays, I like it. It's telling people that, hey, listen, Houston Texans think they really got a shot, especially with the good defensive team they got. You're looking at guys like J.J. Watt having a decent year. We already know what Clowney added in there. On the secondary, it's not a bad secondary. It's not the best in the league by any chance, but it's solid. And Kareem Jackson and Tyrann Mathieu. And, I know Jonathan Joseph getting a little over the hill, but he still make a play or two. Good addition by the Houston Texans. Denver, I know a lot of people disappointed about it, but Demaryius Thomas got a $15 million season contract this year, and Denver wasn't going to re-sign him. Denver seeing what they need to see in Cortland Sutton, who was making plays for them as a slot guy. Now that gives them more opportunities. It frees up cap space for Denver. Good move by both teams, but I really like it for Houston.
Better move by the Broncos. Way better move by the Broncos. Texas, I don't know what you was doing. To me, you're name chasing. Here's why I say this. Demaryius Thomas cannot get down the damn field. He's a possession receiver.
He's a possession receiver.
You don't need a possession receiver, Houston. I'm sorry. You made your strides and shaking off that 0-2 start by throwing the ball down the field. Will Fuller was a home run threat.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins was your possession receiver, and he's not a possession receiver. He's a home run threat, but he was your possession receiver. So now teams know how to tilt the field. Don't show your head. Never show your head. Now, if this was who's somebody that can move? If let's say they would have made a trade like this for somebody like John Ross or somebody, I was like, oh my gosh, hell of a move, Texas.
So you saying they should have traded for Amari Cooper?
No, hell no. His ass can't get down the damn field. He's sorry now.
He's sorry. Is that this not Alabama no more?
No. So my thing is, it would have been a better deal for me had it been Emmanuel Sanders, not Demaryius Thomas. Because, like I said,
he's a possession receiver.
But Emmanuel Sanders can get down.
He can get downfield. Yeah, he can get downfield.
And he's a hell of a fine route runner. If you'd have got like a John Brown, somebody like that teams respect and try to get
as
down
a deep
the
threat.
field. You know what I'm saying? Try to get down the field. I think that's totally different. Nobody respects Demaryius Thomas as a deep threat.
She's saying you should have traded for Deshaun Jackson.
Hell yeah. Oh my gosh.
Trade for Deshaun.
Could you imagine Deshaun
What
was having the phenomenal year that he was? Because people was like, what do we gotta do something. We gotta do something for Hop. We can't let Hop get hard. It's like
he gonna kill
Will
you.
Fuller. There you go. Oh my God.
He gonna kill you. Deshaun Hopkins.
To me,
so you saying that trading for Demaryius?
To me, it was a hell of a fine move for
Denver.
For Denver. Get rid of look. You're not gonna resign.
Resign him.
Free up the money.
Yeah.
Get something back for it. But to me, I think you was name chasing. It looks better on paper than it will.
Because Demaryius is a possession timing receiver.
Right.
He's timing, meaning like when he gets out of a cut, the ball needs to be gone, and when he gets out of a cut, that ball needs to be there. That's how he makes his living. He's not a deep threat. He's not a post. He's not a corner. He's not a nine-route guy. Will Fuller made a living getting people. Boom, boom, boom. Will Fuller out there deep. Deshaun Jackson that way. Boom, boom. Hey, he's out there. You know, so to me, that's what I said when I said originally. If he can get the timing down.
But see, my thing is.
But I don't know if Deshaun's like that.
But my thing was, the thing that helped you exceed was getting the ball downfield and making the secondary choose. Am I going to give up the deep pass to Hopkins or am I going to give up the deep pass to Fuller? Well, now you know where the deep pass is coming from.
It's coming
from
Hopkins.
So now you can cheat that way a little bit.
Because Demaryius he's a timing guy. He's a possession timing guy.
That's why to me, like, you don't need no red zone help because Deshaun Watson is the X factor of the red zone. Would be able to run past. You got Lamar Miller. You still got DeAndre Hopkins who runs precise routes.
Yeah.
So and you got CJ Fedoras. So
right.
You got Alfred Blue. LSU,
right.
Baby. You know you got ways to get other people the ball in the red zone. So to me, this move puzzled me. I think it was a day. Look, to me, if they would have got Golden Tate, I'd be like, ho.
Deep threat. What
are you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Go deep.
But now I know what you're gonna do.
Right.
I'm not worried about the Demaryius Thomas beat me deep.
No, he's not gonna beat you deep. He's not that player.
If you look to some of the plays like when he was at Denver, teams started putting their strong safety on Demaryius Thomas.
Because he's not a deep threat. He's not a deep threat. He's not a deep threat.
With Corey Lindsey starting to emerge and DeAndre Booker, guys that can run out of space that are faster than most. They started putting their safety on the Bears' time and said, look, all you're going to do is try to bully you and get to the spot of the field. We're going to put this quarterback.
He needs timing. And again, Case Keenum wasn't going to be a timing guy. He's a guy throwing the ball down the field, getting the ball out there in chunks and space. Peyton was his best situation. Peyton was all timing.
To me, bad move. For the Texans. It was more dictated. And I think you're going to see. You're like, all right, because teams know how to play the Bears' time. There's a reason why he's not. Look, he wasn't just not getting off in the AFC. They got to play NFC teams too. He was not doing shit. Teams know how to handle him now.
Listen, I still like it, but then again, Deshaun will have to learn how to be more timing. But the problem I have with Deshaun, well, obviously the problem, but the thing with Deshaun Watson is he holds onto the football and he takes hits. And I say hits, I mean to me sacks. I think he's like top 5 in most sacked quarterback.
Well, no, he don't hold on to the ball. Their offensive line is horrible.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's getting back to the David Carr day. My thing is,
I don't know if that bad, but it's not far away.
My thing is, Deshaun Watson is steadily progressing up. You keep guys that help your
Stretch the field.
Do what he's
Stretch
good
the field. Stretch the field.
Look, when you see that Clemson, he wasn't doing this right here.
No. He was stretching the field. He was stretching the field. Stretching the field.
You get him, and that's what Bill O'Brien started doing. Look,
stretching the field. You stretch the field well, fully stretch the field.
He's comfortable with doing this. Well, we about to start doing this. And it was like, wow, look at him.
So what you're saying is, a guy like Demarius could have been traded. He could have been traded to a team like San Diego.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, timing, intermediate route guy, perfect for him.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Look, he could have got traded to the Patriots. All right. There's our other big guy. So now we can put him and Gronkowski on the same side together. It's like, what are you going to do?
Somebody who can hit intermediate route, somebody who can get underneath. A Redskins, Alex Smith, somebody can hit underneath route. Yeah, this is stretching the field. Deshaun Jackson type, So Deshaun Jackson would probably been a good situation. Yeah. Now, I want to mention something before we get into, LSU, Bama. Think of a team a player who didn't get traded that you thought should have got traded this offseason by the trade deadline. Outside the obvious, maybe Le'Veon Bell. Obviously, he didn't re-sign. He didn't sign his tender. He's still sitting on the couch for whatever reason. I don't know. But
he do it being smart. I told y'all.
He get his cheese. He gonna get his cheese.
Off top of my head, I can't think of.
I got one in mind, and it's the only guy I can think of in mind, and I'm saying this because of what you announced this week. See, Jameis Winston.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Jameis it comes to mind. To me, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think you missed an opportunity. You missed an opportunity.
He a bust.
You should have traded. When you announced this week, first of all, there is something very clear about Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston got 10 interceptions in the 4 weeks he's been back. That's bad.
He a bust.
And at the end of the day, when you could announce that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be your starting quarterback going into this week, and you bench Jameis to that game, you got to send a message to your organization that you're moving on. Because you can't start him no more.
He a bust.
You can't start him no more.
He's y'all version of Jamarcus Russell. I'm so glad that we can finally move on for Jamarcus.
It's one of these things that at the end of the day, if I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I would not have missed that opportunity to trade him by the trade deadline. You didn't have to trade him to the suggestion I thought would have been the New York Giants. But what I'm getting at is, when you're not going to start him, when you're not going to, because Eli bad.
No, but about the Giants, you made a small move not to do that. You can't have that much of a circus case going on in New York. You can't have Odell crying over. You can't have.
It's a lot.
You can't have a motherfucker that's marrying field goal nets on the sideline. A motherfucker that just shot off his fingers with fireworks that you got rid of. Motherfucker that don't talk.
Right. Eli Apple got confidence issues. Landon Collins punking people. I mean, it goes on and on in the locker room. Janoris got different colored dreads, and it's a lot.
You can't bring a motherfucker that's still into a situation.
Yeah, he's stealing, and you got Olivier Vernon robbing the Giants blind.
You can't have two thieves on the same team.
Right.
You can deal with one thief. You
right.
can hide stuff, but two.
Dude, well, I'm saying that you don't have to trade. That's my suggestion. But what I'm getting at is, by the trade deadline, he should have been moved because you got to send a message. If I'm the Buccaneers, you can't start Fitzpatrick and have that guy on the bench. You draft this guy first overall. You can't start Jameis Winston no more. You got to move on. I'd have sent the message, you're 2-5, you're bad, you're bad.com. I'd have traded them, moved on, and said, guess what? Jameis, you're out of here. And I'd have sent a message to the entire league that, guess what? We're going to be a bad team, and I'm in a I'm in a Will Greer sweepstakes. Not that I think that Will Greer is going to be any franchise changer by any means, but he's going to be the guy coming up this upcoming NFL draft that teams are looking at.
No, it's 3 quarterbacks out there they'll go in the first round.
Yeah,
you got Will Greer, you got Justin A.K.A. I'm sorry, I'm from Louisiana. I say A.K.A. He from the West Coast. Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. A.K.A. out of Central Florida.
I was gonna say the other kid.
Shea Patterson?
Yeah.
Shea Patterson, and I think the kid out of Central.
And Drew Luck is still up there, too.
Drew Luck is still up there. Then you got, I think the kid out of Central.
Cannon. Whoever drafts Drew Luck needs to get a contract with DJ. What's his name? DJ Driver. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Every time.
Cannon.
Every time.
He got a cannon.
Look, he launches it.
He got a cannon.
Ooh.
He got a cannon.
Come on, every time he sit back, go to
Cannon. He got a cannon. You know, so you got to realize that you're in that sweepstakes. So I'd have traded Jameis and realized, okay, listen, he's not our guy, and move on.
But we got to shift.
We got to shift gears.
We got about 14,
15 minutes left.
Yeah.
The
producer about to tell us how many minutes we got now. We got 12 minutes. We got 10 minutes left.
Okay. We already know what it is. Saturday night.
Bama.
LSU. It's going down in Tiger Stadium.
It's LSW.
LSW?
Yeah.
Y'all know it's going down. It's in Death Valley. Let me tell y'all something, bro. I know a lot of people talking about Bama this and Bama that. Right now, here's what I see, and I'm going to just give y'all the truth. LSU going to be big. It's going to be a big game for LSU. And let me share with y'all why. There's things that are now in the stat sheet on why LSU is going to win this game. Things like Death Valley nighttime, the energy, the environment. That's not in the stat sheet, folks. You're not going to look it down the box score, baby. Things like that are going to help LSU win this game. Things like schedule. Not going to show up in the stat sheet, folks. LSU has played, guess how many teams on the top 10? 3 so far. Big test coming up to this point. Confidence coming into this game. It's not a stat sheet, folks. Big reasons why LSU is going to win this game. Guys like Grant Delpit having a phenomenal season. Guys like Christian Fulton coming back, playing with confidence. We already know what Greedy Williams is going to be. You see what I'm saying? Guys stepping up. Michael Divinity. You see what I'm saying? Joe Burrows, now out here making plenty amount of mistakes. Guys like Justin Jefferson who's making plays for this team. Listen, a lot of things are going to help LSU win this game. Again, playing in Death Valley. Another thing that's not in the stat sheet, momentum. LSU may make a play in this game, going to change momentum. Things that's not going to show up in the stat sheet is going to help LSU win this game. I got LSU winning big by 10 points. I got them winning 28-18. Things Alabama have not seen so far this year. Two will play in the second half. Not, playing the full 4 quarters. I mean, these things they're going to come up. This is Alabama's first test this whole season. Those things, adversity, those things are going to help LSU. That's not in the stat sheet, Coach N.
Hey, you ain't got to tell me, baby.
Going to show up.
I've been ranking my team flag.
Going to show up in this game. And I know people don't want to hear about those times. Afraid what they got to do with football? A lot. Right now, LSU is playing with a lot of confidence. They had adversity. They playing in Death Valley. Things that don't show up in the stat sheet, LSU wins big. What you got, Coach N?
Man, look, we gonna win. Straight up, just like that. But here's the big reason why. No, I'm a Nick Saban guy. Don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban's gonna have his kids
ready to play.
Ed's gonna have his. I'm a bigger Ed guy. More personal with me, Ed. Ed's gonna have his kids ready to play. The biggest thing that nobody wants to talk about is LSU's gonna get one of their better players coming back when all the adjustments have been made. Devin White comes back in the third quarter.
Facts.
You know, it's not like he's going for. It's not like he's hurt.
Right.
It's not like he won't play a down. He comes back in the third quarter. The LSU-Alabama series has always come down to the second half. No matter who was at quarterback, what coach was where, who was there, it's always come down to the second quarter. When you talk about, I get a guy who hadn't got touched yet, coming out in the second quarter, in the second half. That's huge. Also, LSU has faced La Tech, who has a phenomenal passing offense.
Mm-hmm.
They face Miami,
Mm-hmm.
who has a phenomenal passing offense.
Mm-hmm.
You face three of the better wide receivers in Georgia, and Nico Harvin, Riley Ridley, and Hardy. We see how that game went. And then you face the best group of wide receivers in the starting lineup in the country in the NWO and Ole Miss. You see how that game went. Why you saying that, Coach Head? Well, maybe it's a top 10, a top 5 draft pick that Bama has played against. This Saturday, they're going to go up against 2 for sure, and just this upcoming draft. Then you throw Christian Fulton out there, who hasn't given up a touchdown, who's balling.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the ultimate game changer himself in Grant Delphin, who will line up 12 yards deep and blitz from 12 yards deep and make a sack, who will come down and go man-to-man on your slot quarterback, on your slot receiver, who will blitz, come off the edge and all this stuff. One day, now don't get it twisted, Tua is having a phenomenal year, but people forgetting one thing. This is only Tua's first year playing football.
Yeah.
He only played one game last year, and he didn't play a game. He played one half. All right? He's never seen this game. He's seen this game before, but he's seen it from this. He was doing this. Oh, Jalen. Yay, Jalen. And it was a close one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, we beat out LSU. He never been in the fight. Never been in a fight. Then here's another thing that a lot of people don't know because of how fast Alabama's been scoring the ball on offense and how big of a lead that it's got up to. Alabama's not deep on defense.
Facts. Facts.
That whole secondary from last year, it's in the NFL.
It's in the league. From
everybody that's
from Tony
there,
Brown, from Mika Fitzpatrick to Rodney Harrison.
There right now. This is their first year playing. Shaheed Carter, who's from the Tasmanian area, went to Kentwood High School, coached against them a couple of years. Phenomenal kid. You better phenomenal football player, even a better person. Look, he hasn't been in this fight before. Devontae Smith. I don't need to say no more words about it. Real better person than you would ever. You wouldn't even know this guy is the guy that's responsible for catching the winning touchdown for the national championship. He can have 99 catches Saturday night, 1,000 yards, and Alabama still won't win. Main reason why. Iron sharpens iron, ladies and gentlemen. LSU has drawn out different offensive line sets all year long. Has faced top defenses all year long.
Right.
From the number 2 team in the nation in Georgia all the way to the top number 18 in Auburn. Florida's no slouch. Mississippi State's no slouch.
Yeah.
LSU played all 4 of them. Only lost against one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost on the last drive against one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The key factor in this would be secondary play. Secondary play. LSU has the better secondary.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
LSU has the better secondary. Alabama played Mississippi State. Their D-line is phenomenal. They front 7 ain't. LSU front 7 is phenomenal.
Right.
As long as LSU can stop Alabama from running the ball and make it just 0-2, it's gonna be a tough one for Bama. I see LSU winning. I don't care the score. I don't care if we're by 0.5 or 0.1.
I would say this, man. Listen, they gave Alabama a 14.5 favor. Listen, man, put your money on the Tigers. Take them 14 points and run with it. Because I got them winning the game outright.
And I'll be there.
I got them winning outright. But listen, when Shift gave before we get ready to close out the show, high school football, man, a lot going on.
Yeah.
We got Edna Carr. Edna Carr plays what?
Well, they're playing Warren Eastern right now.
They're playing Warren Eastern right now.
The score right now is 7-13 second quarter.
Who's up?
Carr.
Big time game there. We got Destrehan, Terrebonne tomorrow night. Another big time rivalry game in Louisiana. What a big time game we got tomorrow night.
Those
are the big two.
Those
Eastern and Edna Carr tonight. Then you got Terrebonne, Destrehan tomorrow. Also, big news that came out yesterday out of the LHSAA. From out of Boutique, Andrew Robeson wins the appeal. And
Harville, how you say Boutique? Harville is his own city.
It is?
Yes.
I thought it was in Boutique. Luling.
No. Harville, Louisiana. You bad.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Look up the address. It's Harville, Louisiana. You bad.
They like my rural.
Hey, you my own city. You got an old soul, man.
Listen, out of Harville, man, listen. Andrew Robeson wins arbitration, man, wins the appeal. He's eligible now to play for Harville High School. Big time win, you know, for that kid and him and his family. We had his father on a few weeks back, you know, talking about the appeal process and going through the arbitration. They've been through a lot throughout this whole process, but now he has won his arbitration. He has won his appeal. He is now eligible. Him is being eligible. Also, Coach Salt, you know, was also cleared up the allegations against him. Obviously, you can't recover the games that he couldn't coach. But
no, he served his 4-game suspension.
Yeah, he served the suspension. But big shouts out to the Robeson family for winning the arbitration. Andrew's now eligible to play. Congratulations for him. He gets to have a senior year and play football the way, you know, it was intended for him to play. Congratulations out to Andrew Robeson, him and his family in Harville High School.
Fire watches LSU. Man. I don't see Eddie Bodine making it to the next year. When he sent out letters to all head coach, blackballing Andrew Robinson, father from coaching, it's gonna get ugly, especially with them losing this arbitration. So
yeah,
you know, Mo losing at the foul, but it's still, you know, at least a kid be able to play his senior year. The only bad thing is, if they make it to the Dome where he was supposed to play 15 games, he's only going to be able to play 6.
That's kind of what it is.
But it's week 10, baby.
It's week 10.
Follow us all weekend. We're going to have the LSU game. We're going to have
Saints-Rams.
the Saints-Rams game. You know, hey, follow GSportz right now. He's actually right there at the Warren Eastern car game. He was going to try to call it at halftime, but the game's it's still going on.
It's still going on.
So we'll be off air before halftime again.
Right. Listen, y'all stay tuned again. Follow us this weekend, man. LSU, Bama, Rams, Saints. Listen, Louisiana place to be, baby. Between here and Baton Rouge, we the place to be, baby. Listen, follow us, stay tuned to us. Listen, man, check out my videos, check out the posts. Again, subscribe. FanView on Facebook, FanView on Twitter, FanView on YouTube, FanView Live on Instagram. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. And big shouts out to you guys this weekend. Amite High School.
Appreciate it, man.
You know, shouts out to y'all.
We're just trying to finish the season off right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's all we try to do.
Dome preparation.
Yeah, we got to try to win 5. Try to win 5.
Well, listen, thanks very much for tuning in. FanView Real Fans Talk Sport. Again, hit the like button, Subscribe to the page. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on Instagram at FanView Live. Subscribe to us on Twitter at FanView NOLA. And subscribe to New Orleans Talk Network. We deeply, deeply appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good Thursday. It's your boy Fred.
Coach Hurricane Head. And Michigan will lose to Penn State this weekend. This is FanView. Sign it out. Roll it.
Turn down for what?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Coach Hurricane Head. You can follow me on Facebook at Henry Singleton or on Twitter at HenryHayOU15.
Listen, this is your boy Fred. Listen, you can follow me on Facebook at Brandon Fred Jones, or you can follow me on Twitter at BFred Jones.
This is Jeremiah Gray, man, with GSportz. You can follow me on Facebook, Jeremiah Gray, A.K.A, and on Twitter, G_paid in full 08.
Pay me the money!